Now, CBS 42 News at 10 starts with a big story.
The big story, more criticism of Governor Kay Ivey's funding plan to build new prisons. Some local activists raising concerns about the proposed use of American Rescue Funds. Good evening. I'm Mark Franklin.
And I'm Sherry Jackson. Also, some nonprofits are against Alabama using that federal COVID relief money on prisons. CBS 42's Jake Chapman joins us live in Birmingham after talking with some of those groups. Jake, what'd they tell you?
Well, Art and Sherry, they're not happy about this one bit. They believe that this money could be used for other things the state desperately needs right now. And spending millions upon millions of dollars on new prisons isn't the right answer.
We think this is a gross misuse of funds.
President and CEO of the Birmingham Urban League, William Barnes, says they've received $25 to $30 million from the American Rescue Plan, and the money goes to utility and rental assistance.
The last thing that any family needs to worry about right now is where they're laying their head at night.
He says lawmakers spending hundreds of millions on new prisons isn't what the state needs right now.
And so you want to talk about where resources can really go. Let's talk about educating our kids, continuing to do so.
17% of Alabama is without broadband internet. I mean, let's start there.
Morgan Bucket is the co-founder of the Alabama Students Against Prisons group. He says lawmakers aren't focusing on the real issue with prisons, and building more could make things worse.
Speak to a single currently incarcerated person in one of our facilities where they risk their life every day because of a lack of action.
Former lawmaker and CBS 42 political analyst Steve Flowers tells us this has been an issue for some time.
I was in the legislature 25 years ago. 30 years ago, when George Wallace was governor his last term, we had the same scenario happen.
Both Bucket and Barnes hope history doesn't repeat itself.
If you talk to incarcerated people, a cage is a cage is a cage.
And I would simply say that just because it's lawful doesn't mean that it's something that we should absolutely take advantage of.
And after speaking with several lawmakers this afternoon, including our political analyst Steve Flowers, they believe this session could go into Friday, potentially next week. Stay with us as we continue to follow this developing story. We're in Birmingham tonight. Jake Chapman, CBS 42 News. Local coverage you can count on.